My name is Jenna. My job here at the University of Guelph is the Marketing and Communications Coordinator in Student Experience. So the failure that I had was failing a midterm in first year university. It was actually in first semester. It was a philosophy course that I knew I was struggling in it, but I didn't know I was struggling like that much. I remember I got the midterm back and found out that I failed, and my dad works here on campus, and I remember I walked like all the way across campus trying not to cry because I was like so disappointed in myself. I had never failed anything academically before, and I like held my tears in and got to my dad's office and just like started sobbing, and he was like, "What is happening? Like, are you okay?" And I like explained to him what happened. He was like, "It's honestly like not a big deal." He's like, "Do you like the course?" And I was like, "Nope." He's like, "Just drop it. Take another course in the summer, make up for it. Like, it's not the end of the world if you are going to like be this upset over it and it's really not of interest to you. Like, don't see it as a failure, rather see it as an opportunity that it wasn't for you and you can pick up something else later." I think it allowed me academically to decide when I was liking something or when I was excelling or if I was failing at something else, to give myself permission to drop a course. So I dropped one course, the philosophy course, in first year, but it wasn't the only course that I ever ended up dropping. I dropped a few along the way because it wasn't for me or they weren't for me. I wasn't doing well, even though I was trying really hard. But it wasn't a course that I always needed to graduate. So there was a few along the way that I ended up dropping and taking other courses to make up for them. And it just taught me that like doing something that I love is actually far more important than struggling through something that I hate. Well, I mean, they always say that like comparison is the thief of joy, and it's really important to remember that like everyone's journey is their own journey. I had a number of friends in university who weren't in the Bachelor of Arts programs. They were in science programs, they were engineers, and I could have always compared myself to like not having a scientific background or like not being smart enough to be in a science degree. But I was doing what I love to do. And I think it's really important to remember that like different people is actually what makes this world go round. And if we were all the same, that would be super boring. So like not comparing yourself to other people. Everyone has their own struggles in different ways. And I think it's far more important to be there to support your friends and your family through the failures rather than like looking at them as a failure. I think about failure now as like an opportunity to learn and grow. I don't necessarily look at it as failing. It's a way that we can learn about ourselves, about other people, and learn more about how to like get through life essentially. So it's not always about failing, it's about an opportunity to learn. Some advice that I would give to students that have recently experienced failure or are about to experience failure is be gentle with yourself. Life is hard, it's tough, but things always work out in the end, and this time period in your life of your 4 or 5 year undergraduate degree is actually a really short time period in the grand scheme of life. And if something isn't bringing you joy or you're struggling through a class, it's not always like the worst thing to acknowledge that the class isn't for you, to drop it and to make up for it in another course. Just reminding yourself that like you're going to have setbacks and failures along the way, and you'll learn a lot and grow from them.